Please take your seats. Distinguished guests, parents, friends, and above all, graduands. On behalf of the college, I'm delighted to welcome you to Royal Holloway on this very important occasion, our graduation ceremony. It is wonderful to see so many people gathered here for this unique event. We welcome those of you who are visiting for the first time, as well as those who are returning to a place that has become familiar. To you all, and especially to those about to graduate, who have been awarded first degrees and postgraduate degrees, we extend a very warm greeting. At this ceremony, we will be awarding an honorary degree of the University of London to Chris Packham. We hope you enjoy this ceremony and have a memorable and happy day. Ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome the graduands procession led by the Dean of Science, Professor Paul Hogg. Would you please stand? take your seats. During this morning's ceremony, graduates from the School of Biological Sciences will be presented to the principal, Professor Paul Lazell. The first group of graduands presented this morning are those who have studied towards first degrees. These graduands have studied for 3 or 4 years for the degree of Bachelor of Science. The next group of graduands will be awarded a Master of Science by Research degree. These graduands have studied at postgraduate level for at least 1 year and have taken their studies to the boundaries of existing knowledge in their academic field. They will be followed by graduands who will be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Each of their researchers has made an original contribution to knowledge through the discovery of new facts and the exercise of independent critical judgment. Please remain in your seats for the duration of the ceremony. The order of presentation is set out in the graduation programme, which I hope you all have. I call upon the Dean of Science, Professor Paul Hogg.
Well, today we recognise and celebrate the achievements of our students who've studied in the School of Biological Sciences. The School of Biological Sciences runs a number of undergraduate programmes, ranging from biology to biomedical sciences. And these are important subjects with a great impact on society. And this can be seen from the current research undertaken by our academics. Staff study ecology, evolution and behaviour, plant molecular biology, and biomedical sciences. They work on national and international biodiversity and conservation projects, the biology of bees. They develop vaccines, gene therapies, and novel dietary treatments. They enhance the health benefits of crops, crop resistance, and shelf life, and our understanding of seed biology. And together, this research contributes to improving the quality of life and food security around the world. A degree from the School of Biological Sciences will provide an excellent platform for our graduates to secure a job in a broad range of careers. The list includes healthcare, food, brewing, agriculture, and associated biotechnology industries, forensic science and microbiology, environmental consultancy, research, both in universities and research institutes, veterinary medicine, agriculture, conservation, scientific charities and societies, nature reserve management, and forestry. And it's now, with great pleasure, that we move to the presentation of the graduands.
I call upon the head of the School of Biological Sciences, Professor David Morritt.
Principal, I would like to present graduates from the School of Biological Sciences for the award of Bachelors of Science in Biochemistry. Taylor Aurelius. Gaia Canavari. Melinda Dhaliwal. Jaskaran Dillon. Kyra Genk. Jamie Holland. Recipients of the Richard Paxton Prize, Leonie Mahal. Amira Mahmood. Liam Charvel. Tanush Sirkar. Blythe Soper. William Tanner. Amy Taylor. Selena Sai. For the award of Bachelor of Sciences degree in Biology, Decca Ade. Roxanne Appleyard. Lewis Armstrong. Marta Barton Navarro. Recipient of the University of London Contribution to Biosci Award, Amber Bargard. Millie Bolton. Emily Burford. Ella Casson. Imogen Chase. Joseph Deegan. Diana Donovan. Lindsay Fernandez. Recipient of the Lillian Hildebrandt Rummel Prize, Juliana Ferrando. Emily Ford. Hugh Fox. Lilia Gerard. Natasha Hinch. Troy Hurst. Recipient of the Lillian Hildebrandt Rummel Prize, Lizzie Keane. Philip Carl Kosteleski. Recipient of the Gary Warren Prize, Emily Leggett. Nia McClure. Samantha Oon. Declan Perry. Kirandeep Fool. Kajani Raghuwaran. Nur Sharif. Chloe Shepherd. Timothy Shipley. Owen Skerritt. Bilal Tatuani. Bryce Tidswell. Callum Toner. Peter Ulieszek Scott. Emily Vella. Recipient of the Joyce Pentelow Biology Prize, Shifdars Singh Virk. Ruby Walker. Emma Rake. Bethany Yip. Amar Yunis. From Worcester State University, studying for a BSc degree in biology, QDM Simrick. For the award of Bachelor of Science degrees in Biomedical Sciences. Silesia Ajewewa. Abdullahi Ahmed. Zaveen Ahmed. Ali Al-Hakim. Hamdi Ahmed Hamdi Al-Kabasi. Nadia Al-Lahiq. Himez Al-Saria. Esther Bankole. Ibrahim Bassar. Lily Ann Bell. Iberk Bijikoglu. Tom Cassidy. Sonal Chakraborty. Philip Chan. Yvonne Chin. Julia Horomadska. Reem Deeb. Lucy Del Nevo. Kim Dillon. Alexandra Ferrer. Vera Glusic. Jujun He. William Hughes. Farah Iqbal. Recipient of the SBS Horizons Prize, Natalia Yaroshinska. Isabel Jimenez Reed. Aidan Jordan. Yaskava Bashiri. Recipient of the Dudley Cheeseman Prize, Katerina Kentasova. Nicole Keyworth. Aisha Khan. Zishan Khan. Priyanka Karithran. Adrian Cowell. Ho Yin Lam. Christopher Maylard. William Moore. David McTeague. Jasper Morell. Melina Papagiorgio. Prashath Primendra. Adriana Rafi. Hafsa Rana. Pallavi Randawa. Veronica Ranitz. Samira Saeed. Joseph Salt. Karian Sam. Recipient of the Physiological Society Undergraduate Prize, Emma Schrod. Recipient of the Peter Bramley Prize, Megan Smith. Gina Song. Tristan Souza. Ivona Stojanowska. Recipient of the Dudley Cheeseman Prize, Emily Sullivan. Ningma Tamang. Laura Telikada Halenagay. Jessica Trundle. Mahir Udin. Ilona Vardanyan. Alicia Wallace. Holly Weavers. Jordan Webb Mundy. Dandan Singh. Awa Yaslem. Jessica Yen. Nicholas Yo. For the award of Bachelor of Science degrees in Ecology and Environment, Joshua Brown. Jack Cox. Anthony Cunningham. Laura Todorova. For the award of Bachelor of Science degrees in Medical Biochemistry, Sophie Barrett. Sojourn Lee. Emma Tulwy. For the award of Bachelor of Science degrees in Molecular Biology, Jack Gradwell. Gabriel Melgar Jennings. Recipient of the Edkins Memorial Prize in Physiology, Ben Sadler. For the award of Bachelor of Science degrees in Zoology, Molly Cordell. Emily Hawkins. Clementine Hudson. Charlie Kempson. Erin Mason. Recipient of the Lillian Hildebrand Rummel Prize, Catherine McCoy. Joanne Malloy. Massimiliano Molino. Shauna O'Brien. Charlotte Page. Claudia Pickworth. Benjamin Rawlins. Lauren Riley. Taylor Sanders. Eleanor Thomas. Kirsty Watkins. For the award of Master of Science degrees in Biological Sciences by Research. For a thesis entitled ApoE Gene Editing Using CRISPR-Cas9, supervised by Dr. Pavlos Alifragas, Faiza Ahmed. For a thesis entitled The Effects of Different Growth Parameters on the Presence and Concentration of Secondary Metabolites in Nectar, Pollen, Extrafloral Nectaries in Vicia Faber, supervised by Professor Mark Brown, James Blackshaw. For a thesis entitled Determining the Most Important Pests and Diseases Affecting UK Gardens, supervised by Professor Alan Gange, Lana Brace. For a thesis entitled Affinity Peptidomics Assay Development for an Early Detection and Stratification of Breast Cancer, supervised by Dr. Mikhail Solofiev, Amira Hussain. For a thesis entitled Studies on Zebrafish CDK5-RAT2 and Myomegalin, supervised by Dr. Chris Wilkinson, Matty Kerneman. For a thesis entitled Behavioral Responses of Pygmy Marmosets to Tourism-Related Disturbance, supervised by Dr. Sarah Papworth, Rebecca Sheehan. For a thesis entitled Investigating the Effect of Light on Cold Stress in Basil, Ocimum basilicum var Marian, supervised by Dr. Tony Stead, George Skinner. For a thesis entitled Epigenetic Regulation of Jasmonate-Mediated Molecular Responses, supervised by Professor Alessandra Devoto, Stacey Vincent. For a thesis entitled Associative Explanations for a Social Learning Strategy in Bumblebees, supervised by Dr. Ellie Ledbetter, Natasha Waite. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy degrees. For a thesis entitled The Improvement of Chilling Tolerance in Chilling-Sensitive Basil, Ocimum basilicum var Marian, supervised by Dr. Tony Stead, Fergus Begum. for a thesis entitled Developing Dictyostelium discoideum as a Model for the Investigation of Structurally Diverse Tastants, supervised by Professor Robin Williams, Marco Coccoriccio. For a thesis entitled The Role of FHY3 and FAR1 in Plant Microbial Interaction in Arabidopsis thaliana, supervised by Dr. Paul Devlin, Andreas Eberts. For a thesis entitled The Improvement of Plant Performance in Reduced Peat Growing Media using Arbuscular Mycorrhizal Fungi, supervised by Professor Alan Gange, Lauren Edwards. For a thesis entitled The Role of Chromatin Modifier Lin1 Gene in Chloroplast Development, supervised by Dr. Enrique Lopez-Huez, Ja He. For a thesis entitled Insights into Carotenoid Sequestration Mechanisms in Tomato Fruit, Solanum lycopersicum, and the effect of ectopic expression approaches on carotenoid biosynthesis, supervised by Professor Paul Fraser, Martin Klumpmaker. For a thesis entitled Properties of Nicotiana glauca as a biorefining feedstock, supervised by Professor Paul Fraser, Amanda Coslow. For a thesis entitled Molecular and Biochemical Mechanisms Underlying Carotenoid Biosynthesis in Capsicum annuum, supervised by Professor Paul Fraser, Rebecca Knoll. For a thesis entitled Gene Editing in PRKDC Severe Combined Immunodeficiency and Ataxia Telangiectasia, supervised by Professor Raphael Yanez, Versha Prakash. For a thesis entitled Identifying a Role for the Dictyostelium discoideum gamma secretase complex in endocytosis and autophagy, supervised by Professor Robin Williams, Devdutt Sharma. For a thesis entitled Using Ancient DNA to Understand the Evolution and Biogeography of the Caribbean Land Mammal Fauna, supervised by Professor Mark Brown, Rosina Woods. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the School of Biological Sciences at this ceremony.
Choral scholars of the college will now perform Green Sleeves and Summertime.
Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me off discourteously, and I have loved you so long, delighting in your company.
proceed with the award of the Honorary degree of the University of London. Honorary degrees are conferred on persons of conspicuous merit, outstanding in their field, or those who have given exceptional service to the university. I call upon Dr. Steve Portugal to present Chris Packham for the award of the degree of Science, honoris causa.
Principal, it is my privilege to present to you Mr. Chris Packham. Today, we are celebrating Chris's incredible contribution to wildlife filmmaking, conservation, and the public's understanding of the environment. As a much-loved nature expert and television presenter, Chris has been the face of wildlife programs for over 30 years. Whether he's presenting hugely popular TV shows, making films, writing, or photographing, every element of Chris's work revolves around wildlife. Bursting onto our screens in 1986 in The Really Wild Show, Chris turned generations of children onto wildlife. Those children have grown into the adults who now make up the devoted audiences of his nature programs such as Nature's Weirdest Events, World's Weirdest Events, World's Sneakiest Animals, Cats vs. Dogs, The Burrowers, Inside the Animal Mind, Operation Iceberg, Secrets of Our Living Planet, and of course, Spring Watch and Autumn Watch. Indeed, Chris even did some filming here for Spring Watch a couple of years ago on some of the research we do. Chris is unafraid of ruffling feathers when it comes to protecting wildlife. Not for the sake of my grandchildren, because I won't have any, nor for yours, but because it's the right thing to do, he said, on the BBC's Desert Island Discs back in 2013. Chris may have been in our living room sharing his passionate knowledge of the natural world for 3 decades, but we didn't really get to know the man himself until 2014, when he published his memoir, Fingers in the Sparkle Jar. The book told the story of a young man whose love affair with nature gave him an escape from a suburban upbringing in 1970s Southampton. His father, an engineer, and his mother, a homemaker, were tolerant of their son's obsession with wildlife, which graduated from jars of tadpoles and matchboxes of ladybirds to tanks of reptiles lining his bedroom wall, and birds of prey, squirrels, fox and badger cubs being rehabilitated by hand. When Chris made the decision to go to university, unsurprisingly, he studied zoology at Southampton. He was eventually told by his fashion designer sister Jenny to go on TV and bore the rest of the world about animals, not just your family. From there, he began taking photographs and trained as a wildlife film cameraman, which, after a chance encounter with a TV executive, ultimately led him to presenting. An important thing to note about Chris is that he does not shy away from using the correct scientific terminology and demonstrates great enthusiasm when explaining the underlying biology of natural history phenomena during his programs. The fact that he does this in such an excellent and accessible way is clearly testament to his great skill as a science communicator. Communicating science effectively has never been so important, from educational programs and enhancing public understanding through to influencing policy decisions. Chris excels across the board. His memoir reached #1 in the Sunday Times bestsellers in just 2 weeks and led Chris to making a powerful documentary broadcast last October called Asperger's and Me. In it, Chris spoke about how he was diagnosed with the condition aged 42. Despite the late diagnosis, Asperger's has, he said, defined his entire life. Earlier this year, Fingers in the Sparkle Jar was voted Britain's favourite piece of nature writing in an online poll organised by the Arts and Humanities Research Council. Chris might have put his own life under the scrutiny of the lens, but it is his devotion to the conservation of the natural world for which he wants to be known for. We have gone through a period of people being very disillusioned with environmental activism, but now I think we are going to see a surge in democratic, peaceful, and effective action, as caring is not enough. We must take action, Chris told The Guardian last year. I want to try to slow the juggernaut of decay and destruction that is so damaging to our environment and all the species we share with it, and I see that as a duty. In recognition, therefore, of an incredible contribution to wildlife filmmaking, conservation, and the public's understanding of the environment, may I invite you, Principal, to confer the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, of the University of London on Mr. Chris Packham.
decision of Council, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa of the University of London. I guess we're posed for a photograph with that.
What a day. Sun shining. England are still in the World Cup. And in this remarkable edifice, we're able to bathe in the aura of achievement, of euphoria, and in the case of some parents, and no doubt some of the staff, relief. It is a great day to come and celebrate learning. My father has quite strong opinions on learning, and I've been under their influence for the last 57 years. He rather laments that we live in the age of information, and I've got information here in my pocket. I can access all the information that I need, so long as I'm online, almost instantaneously, and so can everyone else. But he and I prefer knowledge to information, because we think that knowledge has more context, and if you have context, you have a wider understanding, and therefore a greater need to understand the meaning of these things. So, what is knowledge? Well, knowledge, I suppose, is an assemblement of facts. So what can I tell you as a fact this morning? My mind is full of facts. It's the mind of an Asperger's person. So, on March the 6th, 1836, the siege at the Alamo in Texas ended. Santa Anna's army overran that mission, which now is a very celebrated landmark in the United States, and they killed off Jim Bowie and William Travis and Davy Crockett. So there's a fact, just an isolated fact, which doesn't provide much more than perhaps a triangle in the game of Trivial Pursuit, if you still play it. But I can also tell you that on March the 6th, 1936, so that's 100 years later, the first ever Spitfire flew. It was flown by a guy called Mutt Summers. It was blue, not in camouflage colours. The number was K5405. And they were going to call it the Shrew. Can you imagine if the few had taken to the skies in the Shrew? Well, it would have had an impact, wouldn't it? But they decided to call it the Spitfire instead. So here we've got two independent facts, and they're 100 years apart, and they're pretty abstract historical little nuggets. But the fact that they're 100 years apart tells you something about the context of these things in different continents, both around warfare, as it turns out. Sorry, that's just what came into my mind this morning. But when you assemble those with all of the other facts in areas of interest which you manifest, you develop that context, and it's that context which provide a greater understanding. You can pull the phone out of your pocket and you can check those facts if you like, but it won't tell you much more because it won't give you any wider appreciation of that. And what I like about university education is that it provides a foundation of knowledge. And that is something which is otherwise hard to access. It's difficult to have the discipline to sit down for 3, 4, 5 years in a place where there are people who know everything you want to know, and they're keen to give it to you for you to assemble all of that. It provides an excellent foundation. And ultimately, you may not be rich, but you'll always be knowledgeable. And given a choice, I know which one that I would take. So what do I know, aside from those abstract facts, of course? Well, I know that I don't know enough. One of the greatest joys of my life is learning more. I've entertained that joy here at Royal Holloway with Dr. Steve Portugal, who very kindly gave that citation. I've learned from him in the process of making television about birds' eggs. I read his tweets, so I communicate using social media with him. We don't meet up or speak, but that's fine. So I follow what he's doing with his Waldrop ibises and his pigeons and his Siamese fighting fish, all things that I didn't know, but I'm able to assemble. And again, it broadens that context of interest that I have. So what else do I know? Well, there's something that I do have to pass on to you. I feel compelled to do it this morning, and that is that we are at a crisis point. And despite the news you might have been listening to overnight and this morning, I'm certainly not talking about Brexit. I'm talking about a crisis point for our species, not the planet. The planet's fine. It's enduring a little bit of abuse. We're scratching some graffiti on its surface. Whatever happens to us, this planet is robust and tenacious enough to bounce back. It has done in the Permian at the end of the Cretaceous. If we're worried about this point in time, we should be worried about our species, because we are inextricably intertwined with everything else that creeps, crawls, slithers, slimes, bites, and occasionally scratches on the surface of this planet, all of the other life. And one thing that we seem to forget is that our health depends upon their health and the collective health of our planet's environment. I don't need to tell you what's happening there. I'll give you a couple of stats. It's my duty as a communicator. We've lost 40% of the world's wildlife since 1970. In the UK, since the same date, we've lost 90 million birds from the UK countryside. I have a litany of these statistics stored up here, which I can recount. The big issues that are impacting on these things, obviously biodiversity loss, obviously climate change, and obviously human population growth. So who's going to fix this problem? Well, I've been trying, and my colleagues have been trying too, but look, let's not mince words. We failed because those declines are ongoing, and we find ourselves in this parlous state. But we don't find ourselves standing in an area of doom and gloom, because in fact we have armed ourselves with a remarkable arsenal of abilities to rectify these problems. What we need is the ambition, the energy, the drive, the risk aversity, the intelligence, the newfound knowledge to put these methods into play. And I think that we're in a good place, because we've just witnessed a procession of bright and able young people who have been given that foundation of knowledge in this excellent institution. And I feel confident, therefore, that we can pass the baton to them. They will have to work quite hard, because we haven't done as much as we should and could have done. But nevertheless, the standard of teaching is so high that, I'm very pleased to say that the qualities that these young people have are certainly greater than I had when I graduated all of those years ago. So there we are. To the graduates today, you've been primed by great minds. You have a framework of knowledge upon which to build. All you've got to do is go to it. The world will be yours. I'm really sorry about the mess. I'll try and clear up a little bit more of it before I go. Thank you very much.
That concludes the conferment of the honorary degree and the presentation of graduands at this ceremony. I call upon the principal to make a closing address.
Well, distinguished guests, honorary graduate, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be able to add my welcome to this graduation ceremony. Although primarily focused on our students, today is an important occasion for us all. For graduating students, it's a landmark in an educational journey in which they've gained a place in one of the world's top universities, achieved high levels of academic performance, and acquired new knowledge and skills that will ease their path into employment. Institutions like ours operate and compete on a global basis, and our students are judged by world standards, making their achievements all the more impressive. For families, parents and friends, I'm delighted that you've been able to join us today from the UK or from one of the 120 countries represented by our international student community. I'm sure you are as proud of our graduate success as they're grateful to you for the support and encouragement that you've given them. So on their behalf, I'd like to thank you for the difference that you've made to them during their studies and encourage you to be proud of your contribution to the achievements we're celebrating today. All of this would not have been possible without the efforts of our staff, and today is special for them as well. It is said that the two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. As each of our graduates starts a new phase in their life, I hope we've helped them to find their own why, so that they can embark on the next stage of their lives with confidence and certainty in their own purpose, ambition, and future. Our staff are central to everything we do, and our graduates will have engaged with women and men who are leaders in their field. That leadership comes from fundamental and applied research undertaken by each of our staff, with over 80% of it independently assessed as world-leading or internationally excellent. The curiosity and critical thinking that underpins that research will have helped today's graduates develop their own sense of exploration, discovery, and challenge. The same staff deliver high-quality courses supported by others in the wider learning environment and the Students' Union. And these courses see high levels of satisfaction, as shown in the recent National Student Satisfaction Survey, where last year we achieved an overall satisfaction measure of 88%. This measure, together with a 10% increase in graduate-level employment since 2015, has helped improvements in our position in the national league tables, helping to grow our reputation and maintain and increase the enduring value of the qualifications that our graduates have worked so hard to achieve. These achievements continue a tradition where for over 130 years we've delivered outstanding education in a building that reflects the ambition and confidence of our founders, in which we now sit. Whilst this building still plays a central role in the life of the university, the needs of today's students are more demanding. And for this reason, 5 years ago, we embarked on a campus upgrade program, the highlight of which was the opening of the Emily Wilding Davison building. Named by our students in honour of the former Royal Holloway student and women's rights campaigner, the building houses many of the central services needed to support our students. I hope you have a chance to look round the building today and experience some of the difference it's made to the lives of our community. Many of today's graduates joined us when the Chancellor of the University of London, Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal, Princess Anne, formally opened the building in October. The scale of the development and its positive impact on our community is a modern-day reflection of our founders' ambition and commitment to supporting our students, and it represents a legacy from today's students and staff to future generations. Our staff and facilities have helped our graduates to succeed in gaining a high-quality, globally recognised degree. However, in the competitive employment market, employers look for additional qualities of leadership, independence, and self-motivation, which our students can gain not only in the classroom, but also through extracurricular activities. This year, there were over 150 to choose from, and 3,500 students participated. Some of these activities themselves had noteworthy achievements. The Politics and International Relations Society won Politics Society of the Year. The Computer Science Society ran their own internationally attended hackathon. And 9 of our sports clubs won leagues or cups this year, including the Fencing Club, which was shortlisted for the Bucks Club of the Year. This year, over 2,000 students also took part in volunteering and social action, working alongside 250 partner organisations and delivering over 11,000 hours of voluntary service. Such has been the impact of that volunteering, this year our students received the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, the highest award given to volunteer groups in the UK. These successes demonstrate there is much more to our graduates, and to recognise the skills gained, each year we award the Royal Holloway Passport. Today's programme lists the 335 students who completed the Passport this year, as well as a further group of 110 who achieved Passport Gold, a higher level award for students who've demonstrated exceptional leadership skills. And I'd like to congratulate all those students on their awards. I'm sure our founders, the social reformer Elizabeth Jesser Reid, and the businessman and philanthropist Thomas Holloway and his wife Jane, would have been proud of the rounded nature of our graduates' education and their results. In founding Bedford and Royal Holloway colleges, they recognised the life-changing opportunities and benefits of higher education and were passionate in extending them to all. They also recognise, as we do today, that life brings its challenges. Each one of our graduates will have struggled with personal difficulties in relationships, through illness or bereavement, and in coping with additional educational needs. In the spirit of our founders, we, in partnership with you, have supported and encouraged them to overcome these and many other obstacles. I hope also that our graduates this week take inspiration from all those receiving honorary awards. Their biographies in today's programme reveals an outstanding contribution to the world, yet often made in the face of challenge and difficulty. Today marks a milestone in the lives of every one of our graduates, a day that I hope you and they will remember for many years to come. As they now move on, I hope they'll look back on their time here with affection, and I trust that the friendships that they've made will continue to enrich their lives. I hope the same can be said of this university as our graduates enter into a new relationship with us, joining a vibrant association of former students. Concluding the formal part of today's graduation, let us reflect on the tremendous achievement of our graduates. Their degree certificates are a testament to hard work, intellectual capacity, and perseverance. But as they now leave this place, those certificates are also statements of future potential. While celebrating what has been achieved, it's important that each of our graduates now considers what they are yet to achieve. And we heard just now of some of the challenges that lie ahead for them. Many will be starting full-time employment. Others will be undertaking a period of voluntary or humanitarian work. Some may be taking a break, and others will be continuing their studies. Whatever their next steps, I and all the university staff wish them every success in their chosen endeavour. Thank you.
That concludes this morning's ceremony. Please could you remain in your seats until after the recession has departed. When you leave the venue, please make your way, as directed by the stewards, to the North Quad, where the graduates will join you. A fanfare will then announce the start of the reception in the South Quad. Would you now please stand for the recession?